Welcome to the virtual classroom of 2021. Today is the first day of the session 2021. Welcome children. Take out your English literature book Longman Impression Revised Edition Part 6. Chapter 1. Before the examination. This extract is taken from the story Swami and His Friends by R.K. Narayanan. Now let's begin the story. In April, just 2 weeks before the examination, Swaminathan realized that his father was changing for the worse. Now, it was the month of April and it was just left 2 weeks before the examination. That means examinations were approaching. Now, Swaminathan, what he realized? He realized that there was some changes in his father's behavior for the worse. Means his father has become very strict. He was becoming fussy and difficult. He was becoming too much hard and difficult. It seemed all of a sudden he had made up his mind to harass his son. Now, what it is to say? He used to see, he had observed that all of a sudden his father has changed his mind how to torture his son. If the latter was seen chatting with Granny, he was told sourly. Now, if Swami was seen talking with his granny, then his father used to say, remember boy, there is an examination. Your granny can wait, not your examination. At that time his father used to say, remember boy, examination is approaching. Your grandmother can wait, but not your examinations. If he has seen wandering behind his mother, he was hunted down and sent to his death. Now, if Swami was seen wandering behind his mother, then he was caught and then he was sent to the study table. If his voice was heard anywhere after the taluk of going and the stuck 9, a command would come from his father's room. Now, after 9 o'clock, if Swami's voice was heard, then from father's room, his father used to say, Swami, why haven't you gone to bed yet? His father used to say, Swami, it's too late. Why haven't you gone to bed? You must get up early and study a bit. What you must do, you have to get up early in the morning and you have to study as examinations are approaching. This was a trying period in Swaminathan's life, and it was a very difficult period in Swaminathan's life. One day he was spiked enough to rest off. One day what happened? Swami thought that he would give a good answer. Why are you so nervous about my examination? Suppose you fail. Now, Swami asked his father then, Father, why are you so nervous about my examination? Now his father said that if you fail, of course, you don't worry. Of course, you don't worry. You won't. You won't. If you study hard and answer well. Now, he said that, of course, you won't. His father said this, that of course you won't. But if you study hard and answer well, suppose you fail and all your classmates go up leaving you behind. Now, his father said, suppose it happens that you have failed, you have not got promotion, but your classmates, they all have got promotion. You can start doing just you like the very day the examination process. Now you can again do everything just after the examination. Swaminathan reflected. Suppose the P, Mani, Rajam, Sankar deserted him and occupied second day. Now Swaminathan thought that if his friends, whose name was P, Mani, Rajam, Sankar, they all get promotion, his father was right. Then that means his father was right. And then his father drove home and point. Now what happened? And it was the question. It was the main point. Suppose all your juniors in the 5th standard become your classmates. Now he said that suppose all the junior boys who are in 5th standard, they have become your classmates. Swaminathan sat at decimals for half an hour. Now Swaminathan, what he did? He sat still for half an hour. At school, everybody seems to be overwhelmed by the thought of exam. At school, what he had seen? All the children, they were too much worried about thinking about the examination. It was weeks since anybody had seen a smile on Shankar's face. Now, weeks had passed that none of them had seen any smile on Shankar's face. Somu had become brisk and businesslike. Somu, he had also become very serious. P took time to grasp jokes. He used to take time to make jokes and seldom make any either. Now, he never used to make jokes. And as for Rajam, he came to school at the stroke of the first day. And Rajam, he used to, at the stroke of the first bell, he used to come to school, took down everything the teacher said and left at the stroke of the last bell, and whatever the teacher used to give, he used to copy it out, and then at the stroke of the last bell, he used to return back, hardly uttering a dozen of words to anybody. Hardly he used to speak. Mani was beginning to look worried and took every opportunity to take Shankar aside and have his doubts. Now, Mani, he used to begin to look worried, and he used to take all the opportunities to take Shankar aside and then make his doubts clear. He dodged the steps to the school clerk. Now what happened? He had looked for the about the school clerk. There was a general belief in the school that the clerk was omniscient and knew all the question papers of all classes. Now there was a rumor in the school that clerk of the school, he was omniscient. That means he knew everything, all the question paper of all the classes. One day Mani went to the clerk's house and laid a neat bundle containing fresh brinjals at his feet. The clerk was pleased and took Mani in and seated him on his stool. Now one day what Mani did? He took a bundle of brinjal and went to the clerk's house. Then he kept it on his in his feet. The clerk was pleased and took Mani in and seated on a stool. Now clerk, he became very much happy, and then he made Mani sit in a stool. The clerk looked extremely amiable, and Mani felt that he could ask anything at that moment and get it. Now clerk, how he was looking? He was looking very pleased. Now Mani felt that he could ask anything at that moment and then get it. The clerk was murmuring something about the cat. Now clerk, what he was doing? He was saying something about the cat. A lank, ill-felt thing. Now clerk, what he was saying about? He was saying about the cat. It was a very weak cat, hardly fed, was nestling close to him. It was sitting beside him. Most of what he was saying did not enter Mani's mind. Now, most of things, what the clerk was saying, it did not go to Mani's head because Mani was not listening to him. He was waiting feverishly to open the topic of question paper, and just he was waiting when he would ask about the question paper. The clerk had meanwhile passed from cats to eye flies. Now, what happened? Clerk, he left the topic of cats and just his eyes fell on Mani. But it had little difference to Mani, who was waiting for the other pause for breath to launch his attack. Now, what happened when the clerk looked at him? He was different. Mani was looking different. He was waiting to stop his breath, to to ask. You must never let his eye flies buzz near our eyes. Now, clerk said that. You must never let this eye flies buzz near our eyes. All cases of eyesore can be. Then what will happen? Many eyesore can occur in your eye. When you get eyesore, the only thing you can do is to take a slice of raw onion. Now, when this thing happens, to get rid of this eyesore, what you can do? You can take a slice of raw onion. Mani realized, and the other would not stop and buted in. There is only a week more for the examination. Now Mani realized that he would not stop, and then he thought that there is only 1 week more left for the examination, sir. Now, and with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.